Next up, we hear from a team who supports people at a very difficult time of life.
We are InnovaIVF, and we are building a medical device to optimize the in vitro fertilization process. So we are addressing a critical need in human reproduction. By improving the accuracy of the embryo selection, we can reduce the physical, financial, but most importantly, the emotional impact of multiple attempts in IVF. Our solution has the potential to revolutionize fertility treatments and make them more accessible to couples worldwide.
Welcome Pedro from InnovaIVF.
Let me share the story of Linda and Paul, a couple that has been trying to conceive for the last 2 years with 4 unsuccessful cycles of IVF that cost them over $40,000. Just like them, we have spoken with multiple couples and they all share the same struggles. Actually, 1 in 6 couples worldwide struggle with infertility. For that, over 40 years ago, science came up with a solution, the in vitro fertilization process, or IVF, that consists in 5 steps. At InnovaIVF, we focus on the 4th step, the embryo selection, which is critical to decide which embryo is transferred with the hope of achieving a clinical pregnancy. The problem is that the solutions available in the market today only carry 20 to 30% success rate, which means that couples need to go through this process about 5 times, facing significant cost, but most importantly, the devastating physical and emotional impact of a miscarriage. Our solution is a medical device, and for that we have a patent and a prototype that uses light to safely scan the embryo to measure its metabolic activity, in other words, its energy, and also create a 3D representation for further analysis. With this data, we can determine its viability and therefore pick the embryo that is more likely to produce a clinical pregnancy. Compared to the solutions in the market, our solution stays up on top of all that because of our non-invasive approach, which allows us to apply this technique to all the embryos of the couple, adding an extra layer of accuracy and making our selection more accurate, which allows us as well to reduce the number of attempts that couples need to go through, making this treatment more affordable and increasing the overall experience for couples and healthcare providers. With a $2.5 billion market size and a 10% annual growth rate, the embryo selection process shows a great potential. And we are focusing particularly in the United States because of our partners there to conduct clinical trials and the regulatory process. Our business model is a business-to-business with fertility clinics, and we're currently working with one of the largest fertility groups in Australia to conduct our market fit analysis. As well, we're working to form collaborations and strategic alliances with key stakeholders in the industry, including clinicians and nurses that are going to be critical in the adoption of our technology. Our team is a group of experts in human reproduction, engineering, and business, and we all share a passion for innovation and also to help couples. So far, we have received strong support from research institutions, and in the next 4 years, we're looking to work on our safety studies, clinical trials, and the FDA approval. So our ask for you tonight is that if you are passionate as us to solve this problem and help couples like Linda and Paul, please get in touch. We're looking for partners, medtech specialists, and investors that believe in our work. And please read this QR code and follow us in our journey to create a world where infertility is no longer a barrier to starting a family. Thank you.
I think you've had a co-founder just arrive from the airport. Welcome. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Throwing to our judges.
Good to see you. Perfect.
Very impressive solution, very impressive technology. The fact that you already have a patent and prototype at this early stage, really impressive. I have a question about the team. From what I could see, and tell me if I missed something, there are no women on your team, and IVF is disproportionately affecting women. So how are you going to overcome that and ensure that you're building a solution that is going to affect those that you're implementing it on?
This is something that we have discussed multiple times in the team, and what you see in the picture is just the top of the iceberg. We are currently working with multiple people, including multiple women. Actually, today we had a meeting with a clinician that took us through the process in the lab from which we are learning. So what you see in the team in the picture is just the top of the iceberg. But in reality, we're working with many more people, and we are also planning to hire multiple women for key areas that we're actually growing.
If this works, you've got a winner. I can tell you that. If it works, now how are you convinced? I mean, you just convince me a bit more about how you improve the accuracy of how this actually works.
You want to take that?
Yep, I can help with that. So basically, the normal standard care for embryo selection, you could go through genetics. However, the light system that we have developed is as accurate as that for anaerobic testing. That is a very particular type of genetic testing that we can conduct in cells. So that accuracy, at the moment, it works in around 90% of accuracy. Of course, it's not at the level of genetic testing that is around 99%. However, it's fully non-invasive. For instance, today we were talking in our interview with this clinician. In the invasive process, it takes around a month to actually get the results. In our case, it would take a minute. And also, as we use a metabolic imaging technology, with the power of artificial intelligence, the accuracy, we estimate that it will start increasing and better and getting better and better and better.
Thank you.
We have time for one more short question.
Again, I'm back to marketing, but congratulations on the incredible work. As I think Clem said, if you got this is going to really revolutionise things. When you talked about partners with fertility clinics, government, etc., etc., I mean, it's so revolutionary. Tell me a bit more about your engagement with the government, because I think that would be something that the government would be very interested in.
Right. Let me mention that during my MBA, I did my exchange program in the United States. And because of that, I had access to some government officials. And then we discussed what is the need for the government as well to advocate for these solutions, because they can see that there is a birth rate that is not growing, at least going down. So they also see the need of helping the community to raise the standards. And by using these technologies, they can help with that for the long term to cooperate with the economy. So the governments in the United States quite different, because obviously in terms of healthcare system is completely different. But in Australia, there are as well budgets for these solutions. So if we can help them to use the same budget, but they can help more couples, they're interested actually to invest in us.
Yeah, and I can very quickly add that, for instance, just by reducing one IVF treatment that normally IVF couples go through here in Australia, there's a reduction of $200K annually for the government. So definitely it will be ways to work out this with the government here on a local level to incentivize the uptake of this technology.
Can I ask one more question? You're going to need a lot of money to get this off the ground, really. I mean, this is one that's going to require some serious investment, getting through the FDA and all the sort of hoo-ha if you go into the US market, the way you say you're going. Where's the money going to come from?
So that's why we are now connecting with investors. In my time in Chicago, I connected with some of the biggest investors there, as well accelerator programs that work either in Chicago and San Francisco. So we are in contact with them.
Thank you very much, team InnovaIVF.
Thank you.